I'd like to welcome you to the Friday version of the Thought for Today, and as always, it's good to be with you. I was reading a little verse from the Psalms, Psalm chapter 116. The Lord preserves the simple. When I was brought low, he saved me. I think of that word simple. And if there's one thing that I've learned, if anything, over the past 8 months of going through this pandemic with all of you, I guess I've discovered the importance of simplicity. The Lord preserves the simple. So often religion can become complicated. Our relationships can be complicated. But I realize the church ultimately is pretty simple stuff, because we're all about God's love and acceptance, and religion does not have to be complicated. At the very essence of our faith and our religion is giving unto others. And giving can be risky. I was just on the phone with somebody just before I walked in here, and it was somebody who I think needed help. But then about 5 or 6 or 7 minutes into the conversation, I kind of felt like I was being had. And I started to question the legitimacy of the request. And I don't like to feel that way. To me, when somebody asks for help, I don't know, I'm probably like most of you, I just want to give it. And I realize that giving unto others can be risky business, because you don't know once you give a gift to somebody what they're going to do with it. And really, that's not our business. You know, our calling is to give. And when you give, you got to trust your guts. And once you give the gift to somebody, then what that person does with this is really up to them. But I never want to not trust people. I want to feel like that when we give something to somebody else, that they're going to use that gift. But giving is risky, and you know that. I was thinking about the simplicity of religion. My brother, a while back, sent me that quote from the Dalai Lama about, my religion is not complicated. It's not about a complicated philosophy. because my religion is kindness. And that's what we're about. Being kind and good to each other, giving unto others. And even if we don't know how that gift is going to be used, the most important thing is to give without condition. And when you do that, you got to trust your soul and your spirit. And once you've made a decision, just do it and let the chips kind of fall where they may. You know, I was thinking about somebody I was talking to earlier, a member of our church, and sometimes my colleagues will say, Don, do you marry almost anybody? And I say, well, yeah. Do you have to be a member to have a funeral at the church? No. What do you have to do to join your church? Well, just come, and if you like it, you're accepted. And maybe that can be risky too. But I was thinking, I was just talking to Tom Hobach on the phone. And I remember when I met Tom and Debbie years ago, I didn't know them from, they just asked me if I'd do their wedding. And I did their wedding. And then after I did their wedding, they started coming to church. And after starting to come to church, they kind of got involved. And they became involved with our youth group, and Tom became head of our church council. And I just thought to myself, it was just a random act that I got to know them. And then Tom just had some pretty serious surgery on his back. And one of the side effects of that surgery turned out that he lost hearing in one of his ears. And he was shocked. And so we were talking on the phone, and he said that this last week or two has been two of the toughest weeks of his life. And he isn't sure how to feel about all that. And I just told Tom, I said, it was a random act that you and Debbie came into our life. And it was the fact that our door was open that you became part of our church. And if it wasn't for that open door and that pot of coffee on the shelf and just welcoming you, we wouldn't have had this conversation. And it just made me realize that religion is pretty simple. It's about opening the door to people that you don't even know. It's about giving unto others without condition. Because Jesus' religion was not complicated. He was kind. He was open. He wanted to open the door to his Jewish faith to people that were on the outside looking in. And because of that, people rediscovered the essence of who they were and began to be able to accept who they were and felt important as one of God's children. So ironically, that phone call I had just before I walked in here taught me about the importance of giving and being able to just trust your guts. And if you feel like you need to give to somebody, you do it. And if you feel like you can't, you don't. But be able to trust yourself. And then Tom calling me on the phone and talking to me about his surgery and what he's going through made me realize how glad I am that our church was open to him and to Debbie when they first came into our lives. And he and Debbie have been a life changer for our church. And so today I realize I've learned a lot over the past 8 months, but nothing more than knowing that the Lord preserves the simple. And let's keep our religion simple, keep our faith simple, keep it kind and accepting, because in doing that, we can change the lives of people that we don't even know. I'm always grateful for these times to be together, because I know that throughout the miles, wherever you are, that us coming together in prayer and goodness and kindness, it makes a difference in the way we treat each other every single day. Thanks for listening to my ramblings. I'm always grateful, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the thought for the day. God bless you.